Hello guys and girls, and welcome to yet another episode of NewsBTC's We Need to CryptoTalk. Today, joining us is HydroMiner's co-founder Nadine Damblon, and we'll be speaking more about their company and their upcoming ICO project. So check out. Hello Nadine, how are you?
Hi, Yashu, I'm great, and you?
Well, I'm fine, and I'm very glad as well that you finally took time to meet with us. It has been a week. I've been trying to reach you. Must be busy.
Sure. Always.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
So, I have to tell you that we have heard a lot about HydroMiner and how it is trying to bring a completely different sort of mining to the industry. And I would just want that our readers, the viewers, would also know more about it. That is why this interview is happening. So, but before we begin, I would like to ask you a little about your background in the Bitcoin and blockchain community. Could you enlighten us with that?
Yeah, I come from an art background actually. Before I started to do mining with my sister, but I got introduced of a friend 2 years ago, and yeah, from that on, it really catched me. I stayed on it, and I started at the beginning already thinking about the environmental factor, because that is always a thing that was really important to me, and so I wanted to push it in that direction early on, and yeah, so we developed this green mining, me and my sister, and yeah, that was always my vision to ensure. So yeah, but I hope it's I hope it's working out and it grows, and we can find more people that will go this way.
Well, that's very interesting actually, and you kind of remind me of a friend, and he actually started the same way. Of course, he doesn't have to start it like you, so I'm going to interview him later. But again, my question will be about your project, upcoming project, HydroMiner. I want to know that what actually prompted you to start it.
It was like this. My sister and me were looking for cheap energy, and so we found this spot here in Austria where there are hydropower plants. That gets subsidies for 10 years, yeah. So they get a price per kilowatt hour promised that's high, that's as high as 10 cents, and after this 10 years they only get 3 cents, and that's where we thought, okay, perfect, that's our spot where we can go in to get the cheap energy, because we're mining at home and we soon reached the capacity there, and so we moved it to the hydropower stations where you don't have network costs and and have the cheap energy. So that's how it got started somehow.
So, as far as I've heard that you have already set up 2 mining facilities, and you're planning to launch more. Could you actually tell us that how much they are making right now and what kind of power you are producing at these mining facilities?
Yeah, so usually we work with sea freight containers where we put the hardware in, and we have one container right now and one mining facility that's inside the hydropower stations. But we made a lot of containers for private investors already, but they are not our concern anymore. We just build it for them. So one container mines at the moment about 130 ether. Yeah, and it needs about 160 kilowatt hours, and yeah, with the money that comes in from the ICO, we want to expand our facilities and make it a lot bigger, so that we maybe can get a bigger player in the mining business, in the GPU mining business. We have a few Bitcoin miners as well, but at the moment we concentrate on GPU miners.
Wow, that's great. So you mentioned GPU miners, and that means that you're not exactly mining Bitcoin right now.
Just a side project.
Okay.
But maybe in the future, with the implementation of POS, so maybe that's a thought that we switch to ASIC mining as well, because we want to do the most profitable option, of course, combined with this ecological factor. But of course, we want to be profitable.
Well, now we're talking about the kind of cryptocurrencies you're mining. I would like to know, what are you mining, as in what altcoins have you added to your portfolio?
Yeah, so Zcash and Ether and Bitcoin as well, and we want to do a altcoin mix that for the investors that they can mine the at the moment most profitable coins. But it always depends what's most profitable. at the moment. We also mine a few speculative coins. I mean, they're nowhere price when you look at the price, but yeah, that's just a small part. But mostly we mine Ethereum at the moment, and yeah, and Sia coin with a dual miner. Yeah, it depends.
Well, that's interesting you mentioned Ethereum because right now the cryptocurrency in that its entire blockchain is undergoing a very vast rapid change, and they are switching to POS. And as far as I've heard, it's not actually good for miners because it has been predicted that this entire hard fork will reduce your income by around $600, just like to Ethereum. So, what is your take on that? So, how do you want to tackle that thing?
Yeah, generally I think it's a good thing, POS. But yeah, I mean, of course it will bring changes to us, but there are so many other coins that can get mined by GPUs, so I don't see it coming that we run out of business during the next years. That won't happen for sure. And there's also the option to do the ASIC mining, and yeah, actually, yeah, we will see how it works out, because up until now I haven't seen a coin where it 100% worked, in my opinion. But yeah, let's see how it works out. I mean, I think it's a good idea, but in reality, we still have to see, what it brings.
So there is not actually a clear picture that you would like to continue mining Ethereum in the long run or not.
Yes, I would like to, but of course we always have to look. I mean, as long as it's profitable for us, of course, yes, then it's yes.
And for the investors, I might add.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and now we are talking about investments, so I'm going to move to the nitty-gritty details of your ICO. What is it? How we are doing it, and could you let our viewers know more about it? So if they are interested, they can participate right away.
Yes, sure. They can participate after quick whitelisting with just an email address and the Ether wallet address, the usual procedure, I think. So we have decided as for a voucher model. The H2O tokens have acted like vouchers, and they can get redeemed in 2018 and February 2018, and you can get a mining contract then, because the dividend model we had before, I think, is very is a very dangerous model, and a lot of ICOs are structured like that. And the regulators here in Europe and elsewhere as well don't want to see that anymore. So yeah, I think it's not good for investors when the people have to give the money back. So we decided as for the voucher model, and yes, the vouchers stand for mining time in our facility. So they can choose what they want to mine and for how long, and yeah, I think that's a pretty good deal for the investors.
So you mentioned that the payback time, I think, will be in February 2018, and you're gonna take the money from this like in October itself. So
yes,
what happens in the next 4 months? I mean, will they be receiving the payback about in the entire 4 months, or they will just start receiving it starting from that particular February month?
So during the next 4 months, we're gonna build the mining facilities. I mean, make it bigger because we already started. And yeah, the vouchers can be redeemed in February 2018 when all is set up, and or even later. I mean, if the mining facility in 1 year is bigger and they buy the time with the vouchers, they even